You know, people wonder what makes a great company. What is the secret of a company that is great in the eyes of your owners, your employees, your people, and your customers? And I was lucky enough to experience a company like that very early in my career. I learned such valuable lessons there, and I gained such a strong point of view and perspective on value there. And I carried that perspective, those value goggles, if you will, through 35 years and through over 1,000 companies in the intervening years. The first company I went to after this company, W.L. Gore and Associates, was Lucent Technologies, the child of Bell Labs, where transistors and fiber optic communications and cellular phones and many other things were invented. And that company spiraled into being acquired by a competitor, and it spiraled into that so hard that that competitor spiraled into being acquired by another competitor. That wasn't greatness. But this first company, W.L. Gore and Associates, taught me lessons about what happened and why and what the failing was. I was lucky enough to work in many other industries and ultimately working for a consultant where I came in contact with and had clients in over 1,000 other companies. And I used those lessons from early in my career to understand what good and great really was. I wrote this book, Radical Value, to talk about selling value, how value grows in the customer, how value is the reason your company exists, to provide more priceable value for your customers than it costs you to deliver. And that book was really well received, made it to #1 bestseller, but it was about the selling of the value more than the delivering of the value. And a lot of my clients had a trouble with that transition from selling to delivering. So I wanted to write a new book. And so the new book is The Infinity Effect, where I describe the most important process in your company as something that happens outside your company. And that is what happens in your customer's mind, the customer journey from beginning to beginning. And so I describe that journey as an infinity loop. And that's why I get from beginning to beginning, because your customer understands status quo is not right. What about it isn't right? What do I do about it? Who's going to help me? Which one's going to help me? Now I'm going to buy it. I'm going to implement it. I'm going to put it into my systems, integrate it into my operating rhythm, and then figure out what else I should be doing with that solution. So this infinite customer journey is what your customer goes through. And they only put up with your sellers because they want to experience something great over here in an ownership experience. They don't love dealing with your sellers. They put up with your sellers with the promise that something great is going to happen, that flaw in the status quo is going to be solved and they're going to experience some great outcomes. So I wanted to write the infinity effect in a way that described the customer's experience journey as an infinite loop where you and your customer journey around this entire thing together. So many times, so many companies sell and then they turn it over to some other organization that doesn't think of propelling the customer through that journey. They think of, I'm here, I'm gonna touch this customer just long enough to hand it off to the next person in the chain. And I'm going to just get them to stop complaining right now for long enough to get them off of my phone line right now. And that's not a way to succeed. So my lessons that I learned from Gore and from other companies that I've worked with uh, are what brought this idea of the infinity effect into being and what brought this book into being. I hope you'll join me on the journey and enjoy this. And I hope it's a fun read and a fun experience for you.